With all the time I've spent poring over Hollis's videos on this channel, I've had a lot of half-formed ideas, made a lot of observations, and thought of a lot of questions that shouldn't really be in their own videos, so I'm just compiling them all here. There's a lot to look through. It's not just the videos, remember, but all the things he's written on the Twitter account and in video comments. Again, I don't know what's important for my purposes and what isn't, so I'm just making notes. So here we go. This may or may not be the first of multiple videos like this. 1. Hollis has not only gone on record saying that the videos he's uploaded are for his own emotional catharsis, he's also stated that he has artistic inclinations and likes making films. This supports my already stated assumption that he uploaded on his channel in the first place just because he finds himself compelled to make videos. It's therapeutic to him. Of course, he's lied directly about a ton of things too, namely that my house was his house, so maybe I shouldn't take anything he writes too seriously. 2. Now, this is something that unsettles me quite a bit, and I have really no good explanation for it. Hollis continually uses images of my neighbors as his profile pictures online. This YouTube channel's profile picture is of a neighbor walking behind their fence, and it's taken from Hollis' second video, Blue Barrel. The current Twitter account is a blurred image of another neighbor leaving his house. It's taken from the 9th video, Windstorm Fortress. I don't know what he was doing here, other than maybe mocking us? Saying something like, "You don't know who I am, I could be this guy, or this guy, or this guy." I don't know. It does disturb me, though. 3. Often Hollis just rambled incoherently about being isolated and followed in his video descriptions, but in Blue Barrel, he seemed to think that the barrel had something in it, and that if it didn't, that wasn't good. In Contemplating Sadness, Terror, and Ostracization, he talks about having a responsibility that might lead to nothing good. In the Unsimulated Nightmare description, he just lists a bunch of disjointed words and phrases, but some words are capitalized, and the capitalized letters spell out, "It's happened, and there's nothing you can do." I assume that he speaks to, of course, what he did to Jordan. 4. There have been some, I don't know, traditionally cryptographic images and codes in these videos at times. In the 10th video, It's Not My Fault, there's a sequence of different colored blinking dots. The kind and helpful people on Discord and Reddit who have helped investigate with me determined that this code spelled out, "If necessary, I will defend myself with force." The 3 colors of the dots correspond to a 0, 1, or 2, and the number of times each dot flashed gave a second digit. This linked each dot to a letter of the alphabet. I have to assume that Hollis was referring to defending himself against his entities when he said this. But if he was willing to use force against them, and willing to use force on a child, well, I guess I'll have to be ready for him to do the same with me if it gets to that point. There have been strange visuals too. Take this one, for example, at the beginning of the 11th video, Lay Me Down to Sleep. These images surely mean something. I've heard people say this looks like Hollis with his camera equipment, and others have said it might be a 2D representation of Hollis's entities or apparitions or whatever they were supposed to be. If anyone has any other ideas, or sees any parallels to this image elsewhere, I'd love to hear about it. 5. These apparitions. We've already discussed this, of course. They're not real in the way Hollis meant them to be, and I think the 8th video is testament to this fact. This is where Hollis notices they appeared outside the garage and on the sidewalk, but look at the face here after knowing what Hollis Coogan himself looks like. That's him. And I expect the person walking on the sidewalk isn't Hollis, but it was probably just a person who lives around here taking a late-night stroll. I don't know who Hollis thinks he was fooling here. 6. Right around the time Hollis did what he did to Jordan, he had a kind of breakdown on the Twitter account. He sent out some jumbled letters, probably anagrams. According to the subreddit, one of these spells out, "Don't follow me," probably referring to Hollis' flight into the woods, and the others could spell out multiple things or be unsolvable. After these, he tweeted out some text renderings of images. Some of these are discernible to me. This looks like my garages, which is where Hollis spent a lot of time, clearly. These look like kind of that symbol I've been trying to glean something from. The rest? I don't know. And last for now, 7. There's the question of why the audio in the last of Hollis's uploads is cut out. Until the moment he's escaped into the woods, there's no sound. I'm hoping you'll all have some possible reason for this, because I can't be sure. But I will say this much. The fact that the video is only silent until the woods strikes me as odd. If Hollis just removed the audio entirely, I wouldn't ponder it so much, but why bring the audio back in eventually? There has to be some sound he didn't want us to hear until he gets to the woods. Maybe it's the sound of the police sirens. Those obviously would have been audible as the cops pulled into our driveway, but I remember that sound lasted only a few seconds, and Hollis keeps the audio cut until he is a long time and a long way away from my house, so I don't know. I think there has to be more to this one. Well, as I learn more, I'll document more. Anyone who's helping me out in deciphering all this, or even if you're just giving me some moral support, thanks. It is much appreciated. When we find this murderer, Hollis Coogan, it'll be all our victory.